Okay, good afternoon. Well, gentlemen of the media today, good afternoon. So just before Mr. Glassford and Mr. Smith come on to give you an overview of what occurred last night, I just want to take this opportunity to say a few words. So I start by extending a sincere condolence to the family, friends, colleagues of 52-year-old Mr. Eamon Braun, who lost his life last night. So sincere condolences to him, his family, and his friends. As Bermuda mourns the death of another one of his sons, fathers, brothers, colleagues, friends, we the BPS wish to reassure the community that this particular incident was not related to the series of incidents that have been going on recently in our community. As Bermuda and the wider world continue to emerge from the impact of the global COVID-19 pandemic and the new normal, there will of course be lots of challenges. There is likely to be some anxiety within our community, not only because of the uncertainty around the recovery from the financial aspect and the medical impact, but as well as the violence recently going on in our community. We are currently in phase 4 of the phased in plan with an imposed curfew of midnight, and already we have experienced 4 tragic, unnecessary, and avoidable murders, including 3 with the use of bladed articles. Recently, we have noticed this worrying trend of more and more of our young men finding it necessary to carry bladed articles for protection or to inflict injury. It's concerning, as evidenced by 16 serious assaults having occurred already this year with the use of bladed articles, including 4 attempted murders. Tackling criminal gangs is the #1 priority of the Bermuda Police Service, and we continue to align our resources to meet the current threat, and to date have made a number of critical arrests and are progressing towards future court appearances for a number of offenders. We always encourage victims and indeed witnesses to come forward and talk to the police. In an attempt to resolve their concerns, it is also incumbent on the community to stand together and support each other when faced with those bent on destabilizing our society. The Bermuda Police Service continues to be encouraged by those willing to do that. Without information from our communities, we have only part of the picture. The more complete our sight picture is, the better we are able to direct our own activity to those areas with the greatest needs, continuing to arrest and convict those who cause the greatest harm. With that, I say thank you, and I now hand over to Chief Inspector Arthur Glassford and Sergeant Jason Smith to provide details of last night's incidents.
As Mr. Daniels alluded to, we had 2 incidents that occurred last night, and I'll speak about them. At about 10:53 p.m. yesterday evening, Tuesday, July 7th, police responded to a report of gunshots in the area of Happy Valley Road in Pembroke. It was subsequently confirmed that a firearm had been discharged and a 29-year-old male had suffered gunshot wounds to his body. The victim was taken to hospital and treated for his injuries. He still remains in hospital at this time. An investigation into this matter is being conducted by the Serious Crime Unit and is now fully underway. Any witnesses, members of the public, or residents who may have seen any suspicious activity or individuals acting in a suspicious manner in the Happy Valley Road area near Tribal Number 1 after 10 p.m. last night are urged to call the Serious Crime Unit at 247-1739. Alternatively, anyone with information regarding this call the Independent Confidential Crime Stoppers Hotline at 800-8477.
Shortly about midnight this morning, police officers responded to a report of an assault that happened in the area of Cedar Hill in Warwick. Upon the arrival of the officers, they found a man who was lying in the road, just injuries. He was taken to hospital by an ambulance, and he was pronounced dead shortly upon his arrival. At the moment, the investigation is at a very infant stage. However, it does not appear to be gang-related, and we are pursuing particular lines of inquiries in that regard. We are aware that at the time of the incident, the assault that took place, there were numbers of residents who came outside or heard what was going on, and we are particularly interested in speaking with those people. The scene would be just along Cedar Hill and Warwick, and it happened outside of a private residence. But those residents who live in the immediate vicinity, you are critical. Your information that you have is critical to the investigation. And the purpose of this appeal today is to invite you to make contact with us. This investigation is being headed by myself, Detective Sergeant Jason Smith of the Serious Crime Unit, and at the present time, we do have a man in police custody who is assisting us with our inquiries.
Any questions, members of the media?
What do you think is behind this trend of using bladed articles?
I think it's a number of things. Firstly, the access to firearms, obviously, in Bermuda is not as easy as will be in a country where they're legal, where they're lawful to possess. The second, obviously, tensions have increased. Tensions between gang members, tensions between criminal groups who may live nearby. The challenge that the police have with that, obviously, is that these gentlemen, they live, or this young man, they live relatively close to each other. So in terms of trying to get in between and be proactive and try to prevent, you delay the inevitable sometimes, and then they obviously get to each other. So the best, I guess the best tactic to try to use really is to try to divert them away from wanting to do these unfortunate stabbings. But I think another rationale, right, they carry knives as fear is another one. They may, for protection, obviously, it's a big one. But it's a number of reasons why these young men carry knives. But those will probably be three predominant ones.
Looking at the age difference in the incident at Warwick, described as a domestic situation, can you say whether it was a father and son involved?
We wouldn't like to add that the information at the present time. It's early in the investigation. It's also sensitive because, you know, obviously if it's domestic, it's dealing with family. So we just want to give the family some privacy and let them mourn gracefully.
So there's a good deal of cameras, are there not, around Happy Valley Road? CCTV, are they proving useful in any way with the shooting?
Yeah, all of the available evidence is being assessed and seized, so that as a normal standard of the investigations, the investigators, as Mr. Glasser and Mr. Smith will tell you, they always canvass the area, whether it's for police-led CCTV or private camera. So that's just a standard process.
Can you give us any indication of the status of the young man who was shot last night?
He's out of surgery now, and he's stabilized, and he's expected to make a recovery.
Was he a resident of the building where he was shot outside?
But he was a resident in the area.
And there's a house also in the house also in the area that's been repeatedly fired upon, separate.
Yes, it's unrelated.
Okay.
Or we believe at this time it's unrelated. It's not.
And given the recent events in the area, can we expect a larger police presence in that area or in others?
Yeah, that's a good question. So just last week, actually, we began a new initiative in the police service whereby we are trying to really focus our resources on the hotspots. I know some people may smile at that because the hotspots appear to be popping up all over Bermuda, so we're getting a lot of hotspots. But however, what we've done, we're trying to be really, really focused on those who appear to be causing us the most harm. So we have a new coordination and tasking process, which really focuses where the information is coming to release these instances are happening. And we also want to do more engagement with our communities, be a bit more visible and the like. So we're really, really, really super focused on trying to reduce this antisocial behavior and violence, particularly with the summer coming up.
You spoke of rising tensions, so I mean, are you attributing it to just people being cooped up the last several months?
No, I wouldn't say being cooped up, but I think that's maybe a factor. However, I think this was happening before, shelter in place, and if you remember, February was quite busy with some shootings in Warwick and in town, and then we had a murder in March on Court Street for firearm. So it was ramping up at the time, and I just think that the shelter in place gave us a resting place until it reverberated, because obviously people couldn't get to each other because of the shelter in place. Now that it's out of place, the back out and the tensions have resumed.
With the City Hall incident, is the court appearance anticipated for the suspect, or is it too early to say that?
Which last night?
Yeah.
Yes, last night court appearance anticipated in the coming days, like we hope.
Right. Last question for me, I was just curious. I noticed when I got to City Hall, there were a number of what looked like police lights up around the Cogger Pass area. Is that just standard police fan out around different areas, or?
That I'm assuming that will be crime scene, managing the crime scene. So we try to get, if we're looking for a weapon or additional evidence, we will try to light up the area as much as possible.
Right.
Do a better search, but I would imagine will be the reason why.
Thanks. And again, Mr. Daniels.
Just to confirm, can we say that, will the police be willing to say the recent events have been gang related? Are they sure about this?
Yeah, the recent events is between gangs as well as feuding groups. So whether you want to classify them as gangs or feuding groups, it's one and the same. Yes. So it's groups of known men who don't like each other or don't get along, and they just fight. And another challenge is sometimes we've been noticing lately is sometimes you will find these young men that are actually feuding with each other. One day or 2 days they're actually together. So it's kind of an anomaly. So it's very complex. This is not a problem that just arose yesterday. This is a problem that's been ongoing for a number of years. And like I said, the resolution to that would be to do a wide range and analysis, of the problem, get some options on the table, and then find the optimum solution. So it's not going to be solved tomorrow. Policing and handcuffs is not the complete solution to suppression and and enforcement. It's not going to kill the problem. We need a more holistic, joined up approach.
And would the shooting that took place last night, would the police also qualify this as possibly gang related, or is it too early to tell?
I'll turn it over to the investigators.
Yes, it's definitely too early to tell right now. So the investigation is still early. We're looking at all lines of inquiry to ascertain the motive behind the incident last night.
Any other questions? All set. Members of the media, thank you for joining us. And again, we urge anyone with information, the numbers that they can call.
Yes, so for the incident that happened at Happy Valley, you can call the Serious Crime Unit. The main number is 247-1739, or you can contact me directly at 717-0773. For the event that occurred in Warwick, same number again, 247-1739, and you can contact Sergeant Smith at 717-0864. And also, don't forget, you can also use, people can always use Crime Stoppers as well if they want to remain confidential.
Members of the media, thank you very much.